Hello friends, welcome back to the series on fear. Good to be with you again to discuss one other part of fear. The fear is something, it's such a big subject that it may not be enough to complete the whole fear in fewer episodes. But let's look at some of the important areas of fear that we generally encounter on a day-to-day basis. So have you encountered situations where you want to do something at a conscious level, but from the inner side of you, there is another person who is saying, no, don't do it. You always get into this kind of situations, right? So for example, you have seen a good advertisement, either a Now Career Monster or any other job site. You wanted to apply for the job. And you're all excited the moment you read the job role and job responsibility, job descriptions. So you're all excited that you want to apply, but when you just go down deep into the job description for the second time, this inner person within you tells you that, look, these are the things which you don't have. Do you think you'd suit into it? So all the 100% enthusiasm that you had on the first glance is gone and comes down to maybe 70–80%, right? We all have encountered this. Now, why is that we have this inner person who is telling us always not to do few things when we are all excited to do that particular thing? It can be just applying for a job, or it can be like, going in for a trekking camp, or it can be going in for a group play event. Anything, or it can be just like, just go out, sing a song or write a poem, whatever it is. But the inner person is always playing a spoil sport in our life, right? It will actually pull you back not to do that particular thing. Why is this? Have you ever asked this question? Take a minute and ask this question. You may get many different answers, but the core of all these answers is the fear of failure. You don't want to apply for a job because you don't want to fail. If you don't apply, the only thing, the satisfaction that you're going to get is like, I didn't apply, so I didn't get it. I didn't go out to play the game, that's it. But you will not have this feeling that, I went out to play the game, but I failed. I didn't go to a trekking camp because I don't feel like going, but actual thing is I don't want to go there and then fall flat. I don't want to be a failure. The core is I don't want to fail. Now, what is the definition of failure? Who's defining this definition of failure? Is there a failure in our lives? Actually, to speak, there are no failures in our lives. It's all experiences. Now, let's get one step deeper here. Ask the same question, what will happen if you fail? Actually nothing, right? But internally, you feel disappointed, you feel sad, you will be annoyed with yourself that you couldn't meet up with your own expectations, or you couldn't meet up your parents' expectations, or your spouse's expectations, or societal expectations. So what will happen if you don't meet any of these expectations? Are they going to come kill you up? No, right? Nobody is going to do anything, but then you feel that you're rejected by your own people, by your own spouse, by your family, by the society where you are living in, right? So that is something which we dislike. That is something which we are resisting. We don't want people to reject us, abandon us, or not accept us the way we are, right? So if we are living in a society, we want people to accept us the way we are. So to keep up that particular acceptance levels, we do many things. And we fear to do many things because we don't want to fail, and we don't want people to come and tell us that we are not accepted. That's the core. So though it shows up as the fear of failure, the core of this failure is the sense of rejection, or the fear of rejection, or the fear of not being accepted by the people around us. That's the core. And the easiest way to get out of this is just look into these particular fears. Ask yourself, what will happen if you fail? What will happen if people don't accept you? What will happen if people reject you? Again, have that courage to look into these questions, straight into the face of these questions. The moment you start looking into these questions, all these questions fizzle out, all the fears will drop. As I said, in reality, there is nothing like a failure or success. As a junior executive of an organization, we all have some fear of failures, right? We don't want to fail in performing a task, in completing a job role. So does it mean that only one level of employees will have this? Everybody will have this fear of failure, including the CEOs. In fact, the CEOs or the CXOs will have more fears. The fear of failure is much bigger for the CXO level people, because the acceptance levels at a CXO level is much different from compared to a junior executive in an organization. So it doesn't mean that you have success or you have been successful in your career or in your personal life or your spiritual life. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have fear of failures. You are going to have fear of failures. But what is the root of this fear of failures? The root is, most of the times, the root is the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, or the fear of not accepting. Have the courage, look into your fears, and start leading a wonderful, happy life. If you like the content of this video, like it. And if this content of the video is helpful to your friends and family, please do share it with them. Help them to come out of the fears. And if you have any suggestions, please write to us at engagingwithlife@yahoo.com. We'll try to incorporate in the coming episodes. And thank you for watching this video.